What's up, guys? While I'm working on this car, I'm going to tell you how to free up a bumper on a Grand Caravan. This is, I don't know the year, maybe I can tell you later, but what we're going to have to do is there are three 10mm bolts. There's one here, and then one here, and one here, because you're going to have to take out this taillight. So why there's 10mm bolts on an American car, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, so the bumper sticks up in behind this taillight, so you're gonna have to do that. The reason I'm doing this, I need to get behind there to fix up this dent. So there's the three 10mm bolts right there. They all screw out. Then you need to pop this taillight off in 1, 3. Okay, pull that straight out because you have these pins that go into there and there. So sometimes they can be tough. Be very careful, you don't want to scratch your paint, but sometimes you need to wedge something in here to kind of work it out. But when you do that, make sure you stick it in and just push back on the taillight, straight back. So this is also how you would have to get in here to change your taillight bulbs. Like I said, 2 bolts here, 10mm, and then those 2 little tabs stick up there on the outside, and then you just pull straight back. These things can be hard to figure out if you've never done it before. Alright, so beyond that, let me grab one of these little screws. Okay. Beyond that, you're going to have these little screw popper duties up here, and there's going to be 3 of these, unless they're missing, in these holes, and they just hold it into the inner fender there. So what you do for those, they're supposed to screw in and out. Well, because they're plastic and junk, a lot of times they will not screw out. They'll be stripped, but here's what you're dealing with. They do take a Phillips, but usually what you need to do is just put a flathead screwdriver in and just kind of work it free and kind of push it up. Dropping things. Yeah, typically, see, they sit right in there. You're just gonna have to kind of put a screwdriver edge in there, and if you can get it up a little bit, maybe you get it started, then maybe you can turn it out very carefully. Do not put pressure in because it'll just keep sinking back in. But usually you get your screwdriver in there, pop it forward, and you can pull it right out. And then this is free and you can pull it out. So there's one more thing to tell you about before you go and push and pull if you're trying to get this bumper off. There is a little tab right here. Now this one was not attached. I'm gonna have to put that back in place. It is cracked from the collision, but it'll hold it in once it's in there. So I'll straighten all that out. But this little tabby will hold it in if it's not broken. So all you gotta do, pull that free, and then your bumper will basically just slide right off. And you have to do that the other side. There's also some tabs underneath usually, but those you can see easily. But once you got all these 3 screws out on both sides, I can show you what it looks like over here. There, see that bolt sitting right in there? You have to take out this taillight also. And I will show you on this side. Can you see in the dark? Can you see in the dark? There you go. That's what it looks like when it's actually intact and working. Okay, so that would be how you get your rear bumper off of a Chrysler minivan. They're all pretty similar. Well, while we're at it, let's look underneath just to make sure I'm not lying to you. Okay, yep. See that? There's usually 3 or 4 tabs. There are 4 underneath that you have to pull down. They are not easy to get. They're very grabby. But you want to put a screwdriver in between the bumper cover itself and the plastic mount, and you can usually pry them down, or you just grab from here and see if you can get them out. But I don't think I need to remove them, so they will stay in. Alright, that is how you get a bumper off of a Chrysler minivan, or change taillight bulbs. Alright, have a great day. Now, I know it's possible I might be asked this question: how do I remove the light bulbs? Once you get this taillight out, there are a few. There's this connector. You don't have to move that. That attaches right in there. But then there's wires up here and wires down here. These are pretty easy. Right on it, it shows you that you turn it. That is not going to focus. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, it shows right on. There's an arrow, and it shows you how to lock it in. All you got to do, come in here, turn it counterclockwise, turn clockwise, and it pops right out. And there's your light bulb. All you got to do, pull it out, put a new one in. Make sure you go to your auto parts store and get the correct light bulb. But then all you got to do is line up the tabs again and slide it in the hole. Okay, one-handed, I can't reach it, but it's real easy. Pretty self-explanatory once you get it. As you can see, line up the tabs correctly, slide in your light bulb, and it's gonna be difficult. See that? Okay, so one of these tabs is bigger. You can see it's this one over here. That's your tab that is bigger. The others are smaller. So your larger tab needs to go lined up with the larger hole. It'll drop right in. Yeah, hard to do with one hand and hold a camera. There, right in there. Turn it till it stops turning. You're locked in. Okay, that's easy enough. Same for the upper one. And like I said, buy the right sizes at your auto parts store. Next, while I'm at it, if you're gonna have to pull off this, maybe this is damaged, the easiest thing to do is to pull the bumper off and pry it up from inside, because there's no way to damage the bumper while you're doing that. And really, it just lifts off. There's pops in there, clips in there that are easy enough to pull off when it's warm. Make sure that you're not doing that when it's cold. A lot of times this plastic gets brittle, you'll break clips. They're just molded in to this pad. And if you break clips, then it's not going to sit down as firmly as it is now. If you're replacing it, don't worry about it. Just rip the thing off. Chances are you're not going to damage the bumper, because there's holes in there that these clips fit into. The other thing you can do is get underneath this lip or here with a screwdriver and just carefully pry it up. Start from one side and pop it as you go. I'm not going to pull it off, don't need to. If anyone wants to see it done, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a video at some point with that coming off. The other thing you may not have noticed, but I am shamelessly displaying two elusive 10mm tools. The socket, as it falls on the ground, and then this one, which fits into my little Craftsman tool there. These may be yours that you're missing, but you know what? I think I found the secret. This one was left out in the rain, along with all these other tools, and you can't hardly tell what it is. Yes, it's a 10mm, but it's disguised. So I think I haven't lost this since the last time I lost it and left it out in the rain. And this might be the secret to keeping your 10mm around. Disguise them so they don't know what they are, and I don't know what they are. but it's a 10 millimeter. It fits right on the bolts. I even verified it with the this guy. So yeah, shamelessly showing you I have two 10 millimeter sockets. Anyway, okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, so that's how you get light bulbs out, and that's how you pry up this bar. Like I said, it's easiest to take the bumper off, but you do not need to do it. I already said I wasn't going to do this, but my tools are going to go flying. Okay. All you really got to do, see that? You just pop straight up. And then you really have to make sure that, actually, I just noticed on this one, you want to pry it up from the front, because the front has pops. The rear has a little tab that slides into a hole. So you're going to want to pop it from this front, pop all those up, and then it'll just slide right forward, and it'll come off. They're not all built that way, but this one is, so just be careful. So yeah, pop them up from the front on this newer Dodge and Chrysler vans, and you'll be fine. Just don't hold me responsible for breaking anything. Alright. Okay, here was an update. I did end up pulling it off, so now I can show you what we're dealing with. Here's your pad. I'll show you the bottom here. Okay, so as you can see, these are little sliders. They fit in these holes. And you have these clips, plastic clips. See how delicate these are? You can break them real quick. And these little things are holding on your chrome piece at the end. But these clips go into these holes. See how that little piece of plastic holds those down. So like I said, don't do this when it's cold. Pull it in the garage or something, and be very careful when you're prying it up, because you will break them. I do have an older Chrysler van that I can show you. This one is a 14. So that's 14. That's how that style is done. But I can show you here, we have an older Chrysler, maybe an 08, probably an 08. But here you can see this pad is held on just by all these little holes. There's no sliding done. And here is the bottom of that pad. And those things can break off easily too. So again, be very careful, but this one pries straight up rather than slides in and then clips down. So that is your update. Just thought I'd show you two different versions of this pad. Okay, so if it looks like this, you're probably dealing with this one. If it has the chrome piece and it's on a newer Chrysler or Dodge, you're probably dealing with the newer style. But it's easy just to pry up the front first and then see what you're dealing with. You either have to pry up the back also, or you can slide it out.